Well, good afternoon, or no, good morning. Excuse me, it's still morning, everybody. This is Mary from the Y, bringing you a little bit of a stretch class this afternoon. If you are tuning in and watching Stretch with me today, please, on the right-hand side of your right side of your screen, there's a place to leave a comment, and there's a place to leave like a little click for the this or the this, or the laugh, or sad, or angry. Preferably not those buttons. But anyway, just let me know you're here. Click a button. I can see things float across the screen when you guys sign in and participate. It's been a really hectic morning here at the Y, so this is gonna feel good in my brain anyway. I hope you guys enjoy it as well. We're just gonna kind of make it super slow, stretchy, on the floor the whole time. All you're gonna need is your mat. And so without any more talking, as I always do, I'm gonna turn on some music and start stretching. Maybe. There we go. Let's see if I can get a little bit louder. There we go. You can probably hear that. I'm gonna come over to the mat. So sit with your legs crossed in a really, really comfortable cross position, what is most comfortable for you. And then lengthen your back, sit up nice and tall, hands right on your knees, just relaxed. Shoulders relaxed away from your ears, your belly's pulled in, nice, strong. Inhale through your nose. And then exhale out of your mouth. It's time to relax and chill and get ready for the weekend. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's add the arms into it. So inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale the hands down. Inhale up and hold. Take your left arm down to the floor and reach up and over with your opposite arm. Inhale, both arms up. Switch sides. Inhale up. Let's go on the diagonal. So I'm going to take it right out in front of my knee and reach with that top arm. Inhale up. Switch sides. Right in front of the knee, on the floor. Inhale up. We're going to take that left hand down behind us this time. Reach overhead. Soften into that back elbow. Lift the chest. Inhale up. Switch sides. And inhale back up. We're going to take our hands to the floor right here. We're going to let our upper body round just a little bit. Might be a little bit too early for a lot of rounding to your spine, excuse me. But just do what feels good. Drop your shoulders over your ears. Just got my hands extended out in front, so as far as I can comfortably go. And then just let your head roll forward. And round up. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Take your hands behind your back, both of them. Fingertips point away. Lift your chest. You should feel a lot of stretch from here all the way across. Nice, big, long, broad across the shoulder, collarbones. And then relax. Inhale, sweep up. We're going to take both hands to the left knee. And then reach forward, reach your chest forward, long spine. And you just keep everything tall right now. So you're not rounding this yet. Reach your chest forward. Kind of push your hands into the floor and try to pull the floor back. Inhale, sweep up. Other side, exhale down. Put your hands in the floor. Pull the floor, reach with your chest. And then inhale, let's switch those arms up again. And we're going to do a twist this time. So we're going to take that right hand to the left knee. And a big twist, look over your shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale other side. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Hold your forward fold, please. I'm just going to turn my music down just a little bit. It's kind of bothering me. Oops, I didn't want to do that. And exhale, forward fold. Sorry about that. This time go a little bit further, let your back round a little bit, maybe let your head come forward. If your elbows can come down to the floor at this point, let that happen. And round up. Exhale, hands down to your sides. We're going to take our left leg and extend it out in front. And you, excuse me, you can either keep this foot tucked in like this, or if you're a little bit more limber, you can bring it up like this. It's entirely up to you. We're still early in stretching, so this is probably best. So we're going to turn our chest towards our outstretched foot, flexing that foot. Inhale up. With a nice long spine, we're going to hinge from the hips, biceps up here next to your ears. Reach your chest forward. So no rounding, no bending, just a hinge from the hips. It should be a little work on your back, it should be work on your arms, it should be work on your hips. Hold it, breathe. Inhale up. Take your right hand right behind you here. We're going to left arm, we're going to reach. And if you want, you can lift your hips up, or you can just reach. It's up to you. Sweep back around. Inhale up. Turn your chest towards your left toes. Flex your foot and round your back this time. Let everything just relax, fold forward, drop your shoulders, drop your head. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Turn your chest forward. We're going to take that right hand down behind our hip here. We're going to lift up again or just reach. You can stay here or lift. Sweep it back around. Nice job. We're going to pull that foot in and we're going to extend the opposite leg. Inhale up. Turn your chest towards your right foot. Flex that right foot. Nice long lines here. No rounding, no folding, just a hinge from the hip. Reach that chest, biceps up here next to your ears. Spread those fingers. Hold. Inhale up. Take your left hand down behind your hip. Reach here or here. back around. Inhale up. Turn your chest. Pull forward. Let everything round this time. Shoulders come way down from your ears and drop. Make sure you're breathing. Not a really good thing. Good attention to your breathing. Every time you breathe in, you want to fill your lungs up, and then exhale it all back out. And as you exhale, you're going to feel your body maybe feeling that range of motion getting a little bit deeper. Inhale, arms up. Take that left hand behind your hip. We're going to lean and reach, or lift that hip up. And bring it down. Swing around. Extend both legs out. Nice wide stretch here. Flex both feet so that your toes are up towards the ceiling, and then walk your hands forward. Maybe even with your feet, if you turn them out a little bit, like you want to turn you're rotating your hips out so you can get those toes pointed in this direction. It's going to get more stretch right in here. That's up to you. You stay in your range of motion. Take these hands, pull that floor back, pull the floor. Walk your hands back. Inhale, sweep the arms up. We're going to turn to the left. Take your right hand, bring it down towards the foot. Keep the other arm up. Bring it up to the center, and we're going to switch sides. So your left hand comes to your right foot. Right arm stays up. And if you're here or here, that's entirely okay. You go where your range of motion lets you go. Just feel the stretch, and it should feel really good. If it does not feel good, you're going too far. Inhale up. We're going to turn our chest towards that left foot and hinge. Biceps next to the ears. Flex both feet. And round forward. Breathe. Inhale up. Turn your chest to the opposite leg. Exhale. Oops. Long lines first. Long lines. Forget that part. And then exhale, forward fold. We're going to keep our legs right where they are. We're going to take our left hand, we're going to bring it right inside the left leg. So your palm faces up. See if you can hinge forward just a little bit to get your forearm on the floor. And then around that top arm up and over. If you're right here, that's fine. If you're right here, that's fine. Wherever your range of motion goes. Inhale up. Switch sides. Inhale up. And then exhale, forward fold. We're going to take our hands to the floor again. See if you can get a little bit more range of motion. Let everything round. Let your chest reach towards the floor. reach your hands forward without hunching your shoulders, okay? Put the shoulders down. Exhale. And walking it back. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale down. Bring those knees in, up and in. We're gonna turn. I'm gonna face you. Yep, I'm not gonna turn. So I'm just gonna come up onto my knees though. Couldn't decide which way to go. There's a couple different things I can do here. So I'm gonna take my left leg out in front. And we're just going to shift our weight forward. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me, and then I'm going to turn back. Okay. So this is what you should look like. Turn that back. So thinking about your knee and your foot out behind you, you want to imagine that you're trying to reach this knee as far forward as you can get it. And then that toe behind you, you want to reach as far back as you can reach your toe. So your body, right through here, this whole complex is getting a lot of lengthening. We're going to take our right hand right here on the floor, inside that foot. This is optional. You can hold it right here, maybe just sink a little deeper into your stretch, or you can take your opposite arm, lift your chest. So it's not this, okay? It's this, if that makes sense. And exhale, bring that hand down. Where you should be feeling this right now, well, you should feel a lot of places, but if you sit a lot, these muscles right here, or these attachment tissues right here, your hip flexors, they're getting a nice big stretch right here, especially if you're concentrating on that extension here. We're gonna shift our weight back, and your back foot, you're gonna come up onto the toe, okay? And then you're just gonna move your hips back and lift your front heel up. Keep your chest tall. And we've just moved the stretch from here to here. So behind your extended leg. And if you're not getting enough stretch, it doesn't mean you have to fold forward more. What you can do is just concentrate on pulling this hip back. Ooh, I felt it. Pull that hip back just a little bit. That'll extend, that'll increase your stretch. And release your stretch. Just come on up into that front knee, front foot. And we're going to take this leg, we're going to extend it out to the side. This is why I wanted to face you. So this knee and this hip, they're aligned nice and even here. And I'm going to put my foot out here. You can have your foot up here. We're going to take our hands to the floor, right in front. And what you can do is just maybe shift your hips back a little bit, as far as you can go. If this knee doesn't want to bend all the way down, then you're just going to go right here. But if you're pretty flexible and you want to get really into that stretch, and you're going to sit your hips all the way back to your heel. And if you want to go a little bit further, we're going to take our right hand, like a thread the needle, we're going to take it down. The shoulder comes down towards the floor. And then the opposite arm extends. Or you can wrap it. Or you can put it right here to support your head, your neck. Release your stretch, bring it up and around. And unthread that needle. And then come up onto that knee here. And what I'd like to do is maybe you can is take the stretch a little bit deeper. If you don't want to take it deeper, you're just going to repeat what we just did. And it all depends on your hips and your knees and what makes those joints happy or not happy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this knee and we're going to pop it out. So it's no longer right underneath the hip. Now we have a more distant stretch area for the inner thigh. And then the same thing, all we're going to do is just sit our hips back. Feel that inner thigh stretch. And if you want, you can thread the needle again, or you can just come on down here like this. Whatever feels really good too. I'm going to thread the needle. And then I'll top arm down if it's up. Bring it up. And bring this knee back underneath the hip and come up onto your knee. We're going to do a little work here, just a little kind of fun stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand, we're going to come down to the floor, right even with our knee, and then this arm comes up over. And yeah, we're going to add on to it. So maybe pop this hip up a little bit. We're going to add on to that stretch. So if you don't want to add on, you're going to repeat that stretch. The add-on is right here. So your right hand comes down, this arm comes up, and then your leg as well. So you're very, very long. You're lengthening your leg, you're lengthening your arm. I am longer than the camera. And if you want, you can stay here, or you're going to reach around that foot. Push your foot into your hand, and then pull against your foot with your, just push and pull. And release. We're going to extend everything out, back out. Lower that leg down, bring it up. Stretch the other side. And release. Let's bring that knee in. Let's take a little child's rest here and kind of release the hips a little bit. If you have trouble being on your knees, there are options. This video isn't offering too many options, but we've got video Stretch and Flex by Jane. She's gonna show you different stretches. And then also last Friday, I did a stretch class standing and in the chair. So it was a lot more user friendly if you have knee issues. So please refer back to some of those other videos for if you have any issues with your knees. And anyway, come on up. I'm going to extend the opposite leg out in front. You can do that without falling over. And then shift your weight forward. So again, we're taking this front knee, we're going to try and touch one end of the room, and then with our foot back here, whatever, we're trying to touch the back end of the room with that. So really lengthening between the whole complex here. Your glutes, your hip flexors, your IT band, your and then you can take that hand right inside that foot. You can hold it here, or you can come into a little twist. So again, it's not this, where your chest stays there. What you're gonna do is you're gonna lift and rotate. And your arm follows your chest. Your chest doesn't follow your arm, right? That's the way it should look. Not that. Everything moves. I hope that makes sense. Just gotta watch those shoulders. They're very, very delicate joints. I wanna use them for a long time. going to shift the weight back, lift the front toe up. And again, get a deeper stretch from the hamstring. You're going to pull your hip backward. That's all you need to do. You don't have to roll yourself up into a little wall to deal with it to get the stretch. And release, bring that leg around. To the other side. Adjust myself here. So here we are, we've got our knee right underneath our hip. Our right leg is extended out. We're going to hinge forward, hands to the floor. And you go where your range of motion lets you go. You can sit back just a little bit to feel that stretch. Or if you've got a lot of flexibility in your knee, a lot of flexibility in your hips and thighs, you can sit all the way back. And then once again, you can thread the needle. I need to make adjustment. You can thread that needle. So you're going to thread that left arm through, bring the shoulder down to the floor, right arm comes up, not too far. And then arm down, hips up. We're going to unthread, bring those hands out in front. Then we're going to come up onto our knee. And again, we're going to take it, if you don't want to take it farther, then you're going to repeat what we just did. Or you're going to take this knee way out to the side and maybe cross that shin underneath. So we're just increasing the stretch, going a little bit deeper. If you are able to do that, you're going to sit your hips back. There's got to be options for everybody, right? You can thread the needle again, or you can just come down to the floor. Release your stretch. Have that nice and easy. We're going to come up onto our knee. Bring that knee back underneath the hip. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Then we're going to take our left hand down to the floor. You can hold it here. We're going to go back into that stretch, but we're going to go a little bit, modify a little bit harder for it. So if you want to repeat, you can just stop here. Or if you want, then you're going to lift that leg up, extend that arm. And you can hold here if you like, or reach around for that foot. Press your foot in your hand. Pull against your foot with your hand. Push and pull. You're getting a lot of hip stretching this afternoon. It's good. Body will thank you, I promise. Extend. Lower that leg. Bring it up. Right arm, left arm comes up and over. Hands to the floor. We're going to release ourselves into a little child rest again, just to release the hips a little bit. And inhale, come up. sideways so you can kind of see what my arms will be doing. Sitting on my knees. You can sit on your rear end if you like, if that's more comfortable. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. And then we're going to exhale halfway down. So your shoulder, your elbow, and your wrist, everything's in alignment. And we're going to flex our wrists, big hands, like catcher's mitt hands. And then you're going to reach behind. Open up that chest. And we're going to very slowly bring our hands down behind our back. Lace the fingers together here, pull down. And what we're going to do here is keep those hands right here on your sacrum. We're going to exhale and forward fold right down to our mat. Release. Release your hands forward, bring them right next to your shoulders in the mat, and exhale. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, halfway down. Big hands. Flex those wrists. So when you're flexing your wrists right here, you should feel a lot going on right here in the forearm. And then reach. Drop the shoulders away from your ears. Keep those wrists flexed. And then we're going to release down behind our back. We're going to do something a little bit different this time. And if you can, you're going to put your hands together and then just flip the arms up. I'm going to turn around so you can see behind me. This is one option. You can take it a little bit higher. Take it down. Another option right here. That gives you a little idea of what's going on behind my back. Place your hands down and just shake them out a little bit. I usually like to do some dynamic stretching before we really stretch, but I didn't do that today. I apologize. Have a seat on your mat, get off your knees. Let's work on our shoulders just a little bit more. Shoulders, wrists, hands. So take the shoulders up and back and down. One more. Drop them down, hold here, roll forward. One more. Let your shoulders relax. Let's do one inhale breath. Kind of end this really nice. Inhale up. Exhale down. Nice long spine. Keeping your belly pulled in while you're sitting here in good posture position. Thank you guys for joining me today for stretch. It's just a little stretch that'll get you through the day. You can always come back and watch it over and over again, and I highly recommend to do that. It's just a fun thing to do. Everybody have a really nice weekend. Jane is teaching stretch here on Facebook Live, 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, so please be sure to join her for her amazing class. She's just such a talented lady. And then classes as usual next week. There will be a schedule posted on our Facebook page. And please remember to comment or like or whatever. Just let us know that you're here. Visit our webpage, visit our YouTube channel, YMCA of Yavapai County. We are keeping all of our videos that all of our instructors are doing on there. Y'all take care. Have a great weekend.